daddy told me that because I didn't have a natural daddy. And God had T.D. Jakes to be my dad in the gospel. And my dad confirmed it every time and had his daughters to confirm it. Every time she confirmed it the other night. You are a warrior for the end times, for the criminal justice system, for the African Americans enslavement. You're a warrior for it. That girl said it. It's on YouTube. That's confirmation with my notebook. That's in court. That counts. This is spiritual warfare. Because this is not past anything that I'm just doing on my own. I'm not on my own anymore. For in him do I live, I move, and I have my being. I'm a child of God. I'm sent on assignment here. And this is spiritual warfare. And so the enemy want to drive you to the street. Well, I'm going to go to the street. The Lord said, go to the street. Get in agreement. Go to the street. Get pretty. And go to the street. And I will open your mouth when you get there. Because it's homeless people here. And I can't get distracted from the mission and from the goal. The goal is 114,000 people up here on these streets. And they need a place to live. And somebody done forgot about them. And did them like they did me. And I care about them. And I want to say, hey, God answered your prayer. So when they say, is it grace under grace? Is it going to be anyway? Have any of my lawsuits went anywhere? Or are they all just held on somebody's desk? Like Mrs. Booker said at U.S. Postal Service. The man has all your mail. That counts in the court of law. Just so you know. That kind of stuff just fall out when you traumatize. Just so you know. Just so you know, that kind of stuff just fall out of somebody's mouth when you traumatized from abuse. When you done got the shock. Like the guy said on the movie. And what was it followed by? A ting. They know what they're doing. Ting. Strategically move this. Move that. So I do feel some kind of way. Seriously. That does definitely offend me. Because this is something that, and I did it to the police the other night. And I didn't care what he said. I just did not respond. I didn't care how nice he was. I just did not open my mouth. And I just looked one direction. And he said, and he was, I cannot say anything negative about him. That man was so nice. He said, ma'am, I'm not trying to tell, because I have to tell the truth. Now, he was sent over there to be a jackass, to bother me. But when he got there, I guess he had a change of heart. This lady can't be. I'm not going to bother her. The man was like, I'm really not trying to bother you. I just want to ask. Like, do you have business in the area? Like, are you going to be here? And I understand because they be like, that girl come with a bunch of junk. You know what I'm saying? She got all that junk rolled all over her car. That girl got you. That's traumatized. I don't even have sometimes I get overwhelmed when I think about it, and I come and I look at it from all the way, and I be like, oh my Lord, oh, oh, what did you do? Whoa! I wrote, whoa, you wrote USC, what? Oh, who looking at you? Oh! Yeah, it's that. But it's come from traumatization. Wait. And T.D. Jakes confirmed it again. You got to be able to see what you're doing now all the way in your past life, in your past. And you got to be able to see all the way. And he said, and God going to confirm it. And he said, and attach it to a cause bigger than you. Systemic racism is large. And come on. You got to understand. Even the most racist of the racists, which is being over there in the state of South Carolina. Come on. Even statistical research says the most inhumane person will make a decision based on his benefit. That means that statistical research and according to psychological research, that says that even the most evil person in the world will still make a decision to his own benefit. And that means that over there in the state of South Carolina that I said is the most racist place in the world, still make decisions to their benefit. Which means when I was over there, she was the most profitable because of the fact of they believe that they slaves should be what? Working. They even sent the white man to me. Granted, they didn't pay me nothing. But we gonna take care of you and we gonna maintain your house. And nothing more. And they did. Because they was working. Setting me up. But it doesn't matter. Because what they was setting me up for, I worked. I didn't work and make the money that they said. They took from me, put it in the white man's hand, and let him sell it and make all the profits from it and charge me for it. Do the FBI know that? Yeah, they know that. They took that, and they know it, and I sat there, and I used to sit there. I'm not one to sell to that man no more. I can't stand that man keep calling, catch up, no boy. I'm not finna deal with this. I'm not finna watch that man keep putting that money in his hand and saying, all right, boy, I'm not finna keep hearing that. I'll just stop selling, and I won't have nothing. And that's what I said. And that's what I did. And he heard me because he was listening to me, which is unnatural surveillance. And we'll address that. And so he heard me and he did it. And so he will hear me organizing my prices. Me and Ketchup used to talk about it all the time. We knew when we picked it up what we're getting. He started being real. He started putting on the ante, and God let me see it. He started being real strategic. But he was basically saying, I'm going to see if she going to rent furniture. And he can get in there and tell the truth. God can put him in a position. You don't tell the truth, God going to tear your books apart. Suddenly, it's going to be some favor show up in the state of South Carolina like you never believe. You better believe it. Because it's great evil work down there in South Carolina, but it's also great good. And the great evil has already met the great good down there in the state of South Carolina. And God already told me that two people that's a great evil and a great good done already met. Because it's done already been prophesied through the enemy down there. Through classical condition, the enemy has to speak in order for it to manifest. In order for the evidence. So the enemy has to speak. And so in this is a spiritual warfare, the Lord said. The spirit has to speak. The Lord has to speak. It has to come forth. The enemy had to speak. Even back then in 2018, she said, this man right here, he loves your business, but he don't like you. He don't like you at all. And he's the kind, when he makes decisions, they are decisions. But he loves your business. That meant favor. What I just said. What I just said. See, you can't, them can't be feelings. You got to have evidence to go back and support that. He hates you, but he loves your business. He loves your mind, which is what I said. The most racist of the racists will still make a decision that is to their benefit. And their benefit is the nigga works. Hate her mouth, love her mind. And they said it in South Carolina. And a white lady said it, so it counts. That's why God had them white people saying it over there. Because they evidence counts. And the greater evil done already met the greater good over there, the Lord said. That's prophecy. And I'm going to write that down. The greater evil has already met the greater good down there in the state of South Carolina. And it's going to be a sudden turnaround because the man that is responsible on the greater good done seen the greater evil. And that done exposed. It's something done happened there. That's not what you said. It's not matching. Because I said different kings bring different things, and it's going to be said. They will present themselves. Classical condition. You sit here, kitty, kitty. They say that for a reason. You keep saying here, kitty, kitty. The kitty going to show up. If the kitty is in hearing. If the kitty is listening, the kitty got interest. If the kitty got interest, the kitty got a problem. Classical conditioning. Here, kitty, kitty. The kitty's coming to you. Everybody who listening got a problem. Everybody who, what is she saying, got a problem. I turned it all around. I know I've done nothing wrong. When in order to play tennis, they keep calling me a tennis player. In order to play tennis, the ball has to come to you. Wait till they throw the ball. They have to throw the ball. Classical conditioning. In order to be set up, the operant conditioning, in order to perform the stimulus, the thing has to come to me. It has to come. When it comes, hit it. You see it. Play tennis all day. So I start playing tennis. Okay, I know it's coming in the phone. I know it's at Starbucks. Okay, I know it there. Okay, they say I'm playing tennis. All right, hit the balls. They're throwing them. They throw when that man said, hey, what he coming for? Listen, what he coming for? He coming. We coming for something. Grab it. Play tennis. They say you playing tennis. Play tennis. Be quiet and play. People done put me in jail with I have no court, no nothing. Traumatized. I ain't got no choice. They already know. They already know. They should be done saying by now. Cut all the speakers to her. Cut all the speakers to her. Cut every one of them. Cut them all. Every visual, period, under the sun. I only want one person in the world to have eyes on that truck. Go and take that truck apart. Every piece of surveillance on there dismounted ASAP. They already know. She's completely in shock. We don't know what she's going to say. She is in terrible shock. Yeah. Yeah, that's what this is. This is shock. Energy deficiency syndrome. And I can't wait to explain that. And y'all gonna be like, it's brilliant. This is brilliant. And it's research. And this is really what you said, what is taken, what is meant for harm and working it for good. Because I don't want to be at odds with the police. I want to work with the police. I want them to get the police from doing this out of there so that police can be police again, and that they could be trusted, and that they could be, when they come around, you know, okay, I feel safe, and not wonder, you don't know. And you got to take that out of the heart of America, where you don't know who is behind that car anymore. I don't care if they personally like my approach or not. They know that that part of what I'm saying is true and correct. You got to get that out of the hearts of people. I don't know if that man behind that badge is right or not. And that is their job, to make sure that they are defining that for America. They have to define that for America. America needs that. What is that? America needs to feel that safety, that security, that awareness, that knowing that they are working on our behalf, that they care. They're not just there to make sure you don't get shot a lot. They're there to make sure you're okay. That they're making appropriate steps, even if behind the scenes, for your overall benefit. Not just that she's alive, but because that's the protection part. But we're also to give a service. See, it's that. See, if you're going to say that, then they have to protect. We got to keep you African Americans alive now. We got to do that. And we're failing miserably at doing that. We're sorry. Because what we doing is we policing, all right, but we policing you when we should be policing ourselves. Because we're the one that keeps coming up in the lawsuits. And statistical research says if A is the cause of this effect, why do you keep pursuing the effect? Pursue the cause. If E keeps being shot by A, then why do C keep being punished if A is the reason? Makes no sense. Thus, so systemic racism. It makes no sense. Only to that of the master. Going back to the penal system. Going back to their least. Going back to these people are paying sometimes up to $10, $15 per transaction. We're not going to talk about those tax brackets. And so what we're doing, we're not only look at how we're paying African Americans again, and how nobody thinks that is anything worth asking questions about. We just do it. And then I want you to listen to the stuff that you say on the phone, which is borderline criminal activity. And it should be, and I'm sure it is. And I don't want to talk about that because that's going to get a whole bunch of people cased up. But because I'm just running through the signals that the Lord is giving me, and it's just taking me to just a bunch of injustices of where the system has holes. And it takes the person that they think is a criminal that they know is not. But that to tell them, but I'm looking at it and it keeps coming up with y'all though. Because I'm keep coming up with, even though, yeah, I'm looking at this, that, and the other. And I'm looking at, yeah, this happened, this, that. But I'm also looking at, but dog, Pookie had applied for 38 jobs that week, though. And none of them called him back. And then I'm also looking at Dern. And then they took the job that he had for no reason and said they just need to cut the hours. And then I'm looking at the fact that, and then his girlfriend just done started acting funny all of a sudden with a guy that just done came along and giving her more money. And then I'm looking at the fact, and now his churn finna be, they right at the age. Oh, and then look over here, and now who just done caught back up in his life again. And yeah, it's a spiritual connotation and a revelation, and it's also systemic racism and profiling. And it's proven across multiple zones that if you do not comply and do what you're told to do, if you do not submit, you will be out here on this curb. And I dare you to comment and say anything contrary. And that's the beans for America this morning. And that's the beans. That's the beans. That's the soup right there. That's the soup. And you can't throw that in the bag. That's a saying me and this dude got. You know what I'm saying? That's a saying. I'm tired of them putting cases on us black people because they try to play us against each other. And I ain't here for it no more. We got to throw that in the bag. That stuff got to be thrown in the bag. Because at the end of the day, we getting cased up twice. Because they casing our family up, and then you cased up on the outside trying to support your family on the inside. And then you go and look at go back and look at your receipt book and how much it costs you to maintain Pookie's lifestyle that they took. Everybody, yeah, that is filtering back on into a system. See, they was programming me for laundering, and then I really took laundering apart because I don't know what that is because I don't commit no crimes like that. Black people don't have enough money to even do that. Those are white people crimes. So anyway, if they do got it, that's because they doing something wholly different, and I'm not. And so anyway, being that said, I took that apart. I took that to the Lord. And then the Lord took them apart for the same thing that they took me apart. No, let me show you how you Lord of the black people. Let me show you how they African American loitering. I know I'm getting in trouble. But hey, it's a new day. This is an epiphany. This is freedom of speech. Have to be able to say that. I have to be able to say that. I have to be able to say with respect and with the utmost intelligence that I can if I was facing my hater and my master, and tell him with all due respect, this is what you're doing to me. And I know you know what you're doing to me, but you're never used to somebody actually saying it and confronting it. And this is bad, and I know, and not good, because it's basically calling you out on what you're doing, and they don't like to be unhidden at all. And so I understand that because you want to stay in the backdrop, but at the same time, you got to understand that making moves like this, somebody was going to challenge this at some point. And you had to be able to see the odds and the statistical research in that. You had to be able to put that formula together that say this girl is not conforming the way that we thought. It's not working for this one quite the way that we want it to. It is, but what are we going to do? Because this girl is not really at the level that we expected. She hasn't submitted yet. Because I can't submit to subjugation. Going back to what I said, we got to get it back to where the police protect our lives. That's the police job, to protect African American and all lives alike across the board. That's our job, to protect you. That means embrace us. That means accept us and serve. To serve all humanity. Not just a color, not just a race. You have to protect me and serve me. And when I came to you and said, hey, there's a problem, you said, So that's the saying now. You know, that's gonna be. Thank you, Jesus. That's my logo for the Grace Foundation. That you silenced me because you wouldn't talk to me, and I just had to look to the Lord. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw me a little girl, a little cute face for the Grace Foundation, looking to the Lord, because that's all I had. Because the police, every time I went to him, every time I called him, something's going wrong. Somebody said I'm doing this and I'm not. My phone, I didn't make this call. This people saying that I have an account and this. So, an epiphany has to come with a change, has to come with a humility. I submit myself to the Lord. And as I submit myself to the Lord, He submits me to these masters. These people are masters. And I submit myself to the Lord. I submit myself to His will and to His way. And that's all I can do, is submit myself to Him. Because it's just people wouldn't believe. They think that I say stuff. No, you have no idea. Wait till I get in a courtroom with a bunch of pistols around me. And I look around and I see enough black people in there that I can say it out loud and duck. Yeah. Yeah. I bet you that courtroom be real quiet and selective on who they let in there. Yeah. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. When I look around, I'll be like, let me see, let me count, let me scan. Let me make sure Margaret. I'm looking for Margaret. I'm looking for Andre. Okay, I got an Andre. I got a Margaret. I'm looking for Cecilia. Okay, I got a Cecilia. Yeah, let me, where's Condoleezza? Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for him. Where's Susan? And I need a Helen. I need a Barbara. I need a Phil. I need a Nicholas. I need a Grant. Yeah. The Lord gonna raise him up. The Lord gonna raise him up. He already have. The news people was at Walmart. They can't go back and make people unlearn what they saw. And people know that even though they don't like my delivery and probably didn't like my delivery, they also respect the fact of she's live and didn't choose to be this way. She don't have no other choice. They done put her in jail without her permission. She's never had a court date, and she's going through all of this in public view. Who else did that but the Lord? Nobody else did that but the Lord. They let you uncover that. They was doing this to you in secret, and God let them get exposed in the front of the news people. I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. I am traumatized. I'm traumatized. I can't even be responsible. That's why I said it was best that I go sign myself in. I was kind of hoping they would have locked me up for something that I ain't do, so then I'd be safe behind there and won't be transmitting to nobody and won't be saying nothing. Because the more I'm out here, I be seeing this stuff and God be exposing me, and God said, nope, that's what He want me to do, to prophesy the end times. Because if they don't relax this statistical research, they're going to bring Armageddon on themselves. They think that COVID is just in the air. It ain't in the air. The Lord said it ain't in the air. The Lord say he gonna prophesy some things coming forth. And so that's another reason why I want to stay pure. I do. It's another reason why I really want to say, okay, Lord, because if I do, that's a declaration, and God honors a covenant. And so, and sometimes I stop making laws, and because I'd be like, well, I ain't gonna talk to such and such, and then I'm like, but at the same time, I try to be rational, with everything I do, because basically that any way you go, it's just a matter of, um, it's just a matter of, just things happening. And so I was looking at that the other day, and just seeing stuff, and seeing how African Americans are done, and that it didn't make me feel like this was no longer about me. This was about a greater cause, because it's selfish for me to just look at myself. Look around you, babe. You're not the only one. These other black people around you that's homeless up here, California got 114,000 of them. Okay, now let's go. Oh, look at what the Lord just served. Look at what the Lord just served. Go back and look at the numbers with the greater amount of homeless people. It's the ones with the greater amount of corruption reports. California, New York. They say New York is something serious. Oh my God, New York. I bet if they was to run the research, I bet if Harvard would be like, what is the Lord telling you the formula is? Let's talk about it. Let's break it all the way down. And I bet when they be like, she's prophesying research that she has no visual evidence of, and she's right on the T. Yeah, because the Lord said it. The Lord said it. The Lord said when you run them numbers down, and you start to see, wait a minute, these reports are generated in this direction at around this time frame, and this, it's all strategic. It has a formula to it. Systemic racism has a formula. And to cure it has a formula. Curing systemic racism and relaxing the energy from it, which is relaxing the browns, is going to relax humanity.